Action Shelf. The Action Shelf. The Action Shelf.
Welcome to the Action Shelf, the podcast that delves into the dangerous world of B action pictures. I'm John Campbell.
And I'm Michael Listman.
Oh boy, Listman, we're taking a trip back in time this week.
To the Old West.
Yeehaw! It's the Old West. Yes, it is. It is the Old West, and we're talking about 1997's The Shooter. Yeah.
Very aptly named.
Because this guy
I don't know.
shoots people.
Shooter McGavin. Wait, no, that's not.
Yes, this is the spin-off movie about that character from Happy Gilmore.
Yep.
This film, it originally was released October 23rd, 1997, just in time for Halloween.
Just in time, yeah.
And it's written by Tony Giglio and directed by Fred Olen Ray. And this is the first time, and almost certainly not the last time, that we're talking about one Michael Dudikoff.
Somebody who I haven't seen any of his films, despite the fact that he's so prominent in these types of films.
Yes.
And I don't just mean westerns, but like B action movies.
He is an icon of the world. This podcast is. I think we're gonna find that there are levels of people within B action movies, right? Like there are the Lundgrens and Chuck Norrises and stuff like that, and then there's kind of the next tier, which is where you get to your Dudikoffs. I'm excited to get to Cynthia Rothrock, who's kind of the only female straight to video action movie legend of the 80s. So we'll get to some of her stuff later. But Dudikoff was born of the canon. You know, we love the canon films here.
The canon, as we like to call it.
Canon, yeah. Which there is a podcast out there I discovered recently called The Canon that does exclusively do canon movies. So,
wow. I'll have to check that out.
Definitely, because they seem like people who, you know, there may be a crossover at some point. But, yeah, Dudikoff is, you know, he was sort of he took up the mantle of Chuck Norris when Chuck Norris became too expensive for canon. They went to Dudikoff. And
Karate Cowboy.
The Karate Cowboy. I will say I've seen a smattering of Dudikoff movies, though I haven't watched a Dudikoff film in a long time. Not the most charismatic screen presence.
Oh, you don't say, John.
He's pretty flat and boring in this movie.
Well, if you recall from Invasion USA, so is Chuck Norris.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. I mean, look, they can't all be Van Damme. That's our guy on this show. We love a Van Damme.
He is currently my favorite B action movie star. Like he
possesses a charisma and a reasonable amount of acting skill.
And his action is better than everything else. Like in this type of film,
anybody match the physicality of a Van Damme? Not even close. This isn't a movie, though. I mean, to be fair, to get to give Dudikoff some credit, this is not a movie that would have a lot of physical action per se.
That's true. Yeah,
this is firmly a Western, and I will say this is maybe the most cliched Western I've ever seen.
If you were playing a Western movie bingo game, this would be the perfect candidate for it.
Yeah. I mean, in some ways, the fact that this is the first Western we're covering, this is kind of the perfect first Western for us to be covering.
Yes.
Because it's, number one, it's right in our wheelhouse of clearly costing about 50 cents to make.
Yeah.
Normally I'd ask you the budget and try to, but I for the life of me, I cannot find the budget for this movie online.
It's a number so infinitesimally small that it can't be computed. It can't be.
I'm still looking, but I don't see anything says what the budget of the film is. I will say, according to the Wikipedia, there is no Rotten Tomatoes approval rating for this movie. Like, not enough people ever reviewed this film for it to warrant a Rotten Tomatoes score.
That's got to be the worst, right? Like, it's one thing to elicit a strong negative reaction for your film, but like to be so insignificant that people don't even care to review it, that's gotta. I suppose this movie came out before Rotten Tomatoes was the thing. That's fair.
But even still, just the idea that this movie, for all intents and purposes, this movie doesn't exist. Like,
yeah.
That's I had never heard of this movie. This was just a random find on Amazon. Here's the thing: this movie though feels like we're both you and I are noted fans of the Western genre.
Sure, yeah.
I spent a lot of my childhood with my grandparents, and my grandfather was a devotee of Westerns, and he would just leave the Western channel on 24/7. And so this 100% seems like a movie that would be on in the middle of the day on the Western channel. So I've seen a lot of movies like this. As have you. By anyone who's seen almost any Western has seen a movie like this, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. So, yeah, we have Dudikoff, and then we have the unforgettable performance of country music legend Randy Travis.
Oh, right. The name sounded familiar. I'm not a country music aficionado.
Same here. I couldn't tell you any of Randy Travis's songs. I can only tell you that he is a country music star.
He did have a very soft, folksy sort of line delivery that wasn't what I would describe as menacing.
No, he is sort of an odd choice to be the villain of this movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But I guess they did that on purpose because it's kind of a twist that he's the villain?
Kind of, but like, I'm trying to think of why that twist doesn't necessarily... I mean, obviously, the whole movie is not good, but like,
right.
That twist happens, and my reaction is nothing. I had no reaction. It just kind of washed over me.
I just wrote down, Randy Travis is crooked now. Okay, got it.
It was very strange.
And we'll get into this, but his backstory is unclear, and the movie actively states that his backstory is unclear.
I mean, he's the Joker, he's the Joker of this universe.
Like what chaos.
What his backstory is doesn't matter. It's that's not the point of Randy Travis's character.
You want to know how I got these scars? Let's dive into the plot of this movie a little bit. I mean, it is.
Was there a plot, John? Was there a plot in this movie?
I do want to talk about the fact that this movie opens up, and you're in for a good time when we open with a woman being brutally whipped.
Yeah, that was interesting. Also the weird narrative device that is the writer, which they totally abandon like halfway through the film,
but then come back to it and then abandon again.
He's there and he's like writing, but it's not. It starts out as a narrative framing device, but then he just happens to be a side character in the rest of the film. They don't what
I love is my favorite scenes are anytime there's action going on and they just cut to him scribbling in his notebook like, hey, I gotta write all this down, gotta capture all the action, which this is a ripoff of Unforgiven, which has Saul Rubinek as the writer of Western folklore in the Old West. Much better executed, much better character in one of my top 5 Westerns of all time.
When did Unforgiven come out?
That was 92.
Wow.
Yeah.
This movie looks so much worse than that movie.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's as good a place to start as any. This movie looks like garbage.
It looks terrible.
Yeah.
There are some... Obviously this movie was filmed long before smartphones were a thing, but it looks like it was filmed on an iPhone.
Well,
some of the shots.
Here's what I think. I think this was shot on very early digital cameras, is my guess. Like consumer grade, like mini DV cameras, maybe.
Like those like little camcorders that we used to make movies on.
Yeah, I think it was kind of shot with one of those because it has that look to it. Where
it's
just kind of shitty. It's not film.
Yeah, because they couldn't afford film. Obviously.
No, but it's shot on cameras that aren't ready to take the load of a feature film at this point.
Yeah,
Because digital the first like movie to be shot fully digital from a major studio was Star Wars Episode 2: Attack of the Clones. That was the first one to really implement, and that looked fine. But that was, they had to like invent new cameras and stuff like that. Here, I think they were just whatever's the cheapest solution. Once again, I found almost no background about the making of this movie. Not only does the film not exist, apparently the production never happened either. So
this movie is an enigma, John.
But Andrew Stevens is the writer character. He plays the writer character in this, who is a producer and actor. He is a producer of this film as well.
That's not shocking.
No, but he's also produced like legitimate movies. He produced The Boondock Saints, The Whole Nine Yards. He's done legitimate stuff too.
Is he in those movies?
No, doesn't. Look
I get the impression that he produced this movie with the intent of being in it. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
I want to be in a Western.
Here's what I'll say about his acting career. He acts in mostly crap like this, but he produces legitimate movies. So
yeah, that's fair.
Because you look a lot of straight to video action movies on this guy is, does movies like Deadly Excursion, Mongolian Deathworm, Missionary Man, Black Dawn, The Marksman, a lot of this kind of stuff. Yeah. But then when you go to his producing, it's like, oh, these are like studio films.
He makes his money on, producing legitimate, I don't know if legitimate, but like studio films.
Yeah.
And then he uses that money to fuel his own sort of side passion projects.
Which I respect. Absolutely. Unfortunately, side passion projects are movies like this.
Well, to each their own, I suppose. But
I should say he was an executive producer on the John Travolta classic Battlefield Earth.
Oh, good. Is he a Scientologist?
Maybe. Yeah, could be. Anyway, but I love also he gives himself the credit of special appearance by. You're producing the movie, but then he's making it seem like, wow, we got Andrew Stevens.
The talent on this thing. My goodness.
He has a line early on in his narration that I think encompasses the entire movie, which is, every great story has already been told. Well, I mean, everything in this movie has already been told 1,000,000 times, so I just thought, I was like, man, I don't know if I'd put that line of dialogue in this film. You're right.
Here are a list of stories that have already told this story, and it just rolls the names of a bunch of Western that this just wholesale,
because countless times I didn't, but in my notes I could have just done like, see this movie. See this film, or it's just like, go watch Django, go watch a lot of this movie really takes from the original Sergio Corbucci Django.
Yes,
there are direct lifts of scenes from Django in this movie, where I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That just is what they did better in the 1960s in Django.
It definitely felt like somebody who made this, I'm going to say the writer or director, somebody...
I just want to say his name again, the writer Tony Giglio.
Oh, yes, the prominent...
I got to look up what else he wrote. Keep going, though. I'll look up what else he wrote.
But clearly somebody enjoyed Western movies.
Yes.
But wasn't able to create his own spin on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think... I'm going to be charitable and say that this wasn't sort of a cash grab necessarily, because
Right.
money is there to be made on this film, but like
that apparently doesn't exist. So
right. But they were clearly going. They were inspired by legitimately good films.
totally.
There just wasn't enough here to be its own thing.
Well, they're not doing the Tarantino thing, right? Of I've seen everything, I know every trope. Let me put a spin on it. Let me put my voice on top of all the influence. It's just
Exactly.
the influence. We're just doing what they've done in other movies. By the way, Tony Giglio, he has 3 screenwriting credits. They between 1997 and 1998, these movies came out. So he's got 1 year as a screenwriter. 2 of the
Good
movies star Dudikoff, because there's this film, and he also wrote a movie called Freedom Strike, which is an amazing title. And then also in 98, he wrote a movie called Surface to Air, which is a Michael Madsen, Chad McQueen, yes, that's son of Steve McQueen, starring Navy adventure film.
I mean, those sound like real winners.
Those sound like future episodes of this show.
Yes, they do.
We got to talk about a Chad McQueen vehicle.
Oh, definitely.
Because I do love my father's a legend of action. Let me try some stuff.
Exactly. I like so this bad narration starts.
Yeah.
And this movie does kind of what a lot of westerns do to start out, where the landscape is as much a character as the actual characters themselves. You know, obviously it's the Old West, so but I did find it funny that like the landscape that they were panning over was the least interesting looking landscape they could possibly be shooting in.
Yeah, it's not a John Ford film where we're out in Monument Valley with the giant red rocks and the epic scope of nature and, you know, the lone man on the horse amongst them. Here's the thing about this movie that I kept thinking with cinematography. There are no grand wide shots in this movie, which is something I sit down for a Western to see, right? Don't you kind of want the grandeur of the open plains? I think of Westerns as big widescreen films.
Yes.
Everything here is very tight, you know.
So close in. And it's funny because like part of like the cinematography is clearly stealing from like Sergio Leone, obviously, with like close-ups and the quick editing.
Yeah.
But they totally forget the other aspect that is very important for Westerns, which is, like you're saying, a large, open, wide space, because Westerns were like the big budget, you know, like Hollywood films of their day.
Absolutely. I mean, the 50s into the 70s, the Western was the most popular genre. I mean, as people talk about it, was what superhero movies are today. That's what Westerns were. Those were the blockbusters. And even Leone, working in Italy and Spain with not that much money, knew how to make his movies seem bigger than they were.
Yeah, definitely.
He built the epicness, and a lot of that also had to do with Ennio Morricone's score. And the score of this movie is just not much.
The score of this movie feels like they found free music on the internet and just put it in. Yeah, it rarely matches the tone of the scene that they are.
And there's a few examples where it's very ill-fitting to the scenes.
Oh, good Lord, Sean. Some of the music cues in this movie are just so bad.
There's a lot of like whimsical music in it for some reason. What?
Yeah, we could just jump into it. The one sex scene in this film.
When it turns into like a Cinemax After Dark movie for like a minute, it's like, what is this?
There's no like, it's so weird. But the music it sounds like a carousel, carousel music from a horror film.
Yeah.
Which obviously the scene ends up being kind of weird and violent, but like at the beat, like during the actual quote unquote sex scene, which was just the mayor kissing this prostitute's butt. I don't know. It was really, it was so weird.
It was really, and it comes out of nowhere. You're like, wait, why am I watching this?
Yeah, it just felt like this is in here because people want to see nudity, I guess. I don't know.
I do know that for some of these smaller films, nudity is actually a selling point when they're trying to get these movies programmed on cable and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you will see that in a lot of these movies where they'll put it in just to be like, see, it has nudity, so you should put it on Cinemax or whatever, you know.
Right, exactly. And it can in the ratings be like this movie has like violence and blah 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 and nudity.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
oh.
there will be people who see that and go, I better watch this.
Oh, well, I'm sure those people were very disappointed by the quality and just the amount of nudity. Which
Well,
is
yeah.
almost
Also,
none.
I'm like, hang
I don't
on.
know why it's in this film.
I've been watching this movie for 50 minutes and there's been no nudity.
Where's the nudity?
I gotta fast forward to this thing. By the way, that character has come over. If you're a listener of Campbell and Jones Meet the Monsters, the creepy perv character makes his appearances a lot on that show. Going, I gotta see this picture.
Oh, I hear there's nudity in
Yeah,
this one.
because especially we're doing the Hammer movies right now, which have a lot of titillating sequences in them. So we do a guy who just you go ahead and roll that again. So I guess now he's on this show too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I do want to get back to the woman whipped at the beginning of this movie because it's it's the opening of the movie following this narration about like, which is all about like this is a story of revenge, you know, or whatever like that, and you're just like, okay.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, they clearly think this narration is setting up the sort of mythic nature of this movie, which the movie doesn't have. It just doesn't have the sweep for that. But they want it to be this like back in the West, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we open on this woman who's up against these rocks out in the desert, and they rip open the back of her dress and just start whipping her again. And you watch it. We watched this for a while.
Yeah. It's strange. I don't know if it ever explains why they were doing that specifically to her. You know what I mean?
Violated the rules of the town, but I don't know what they were exactly.
Yeah, it's very uninterested in exploring that, even though it's sort of the inciting incident of the entire film.
Right. It's just sort of this like bad guys doing bad stuff. You know how it goes.
Yeah. And you know, in classic Western style, our hero rides up. You know,
mysterious stranger rides up.
I thought it was funny that he's supposed to be this mythic hero, Western hero, but they go to great lengths to explain everything about him.
They
so
do.
He's not as mythic necessarily.
He's not a man with no name. He's not, you know.
No.
His name is Michael Atherton.
A very badass name. A very cool name.
All the names in this movie are just total normal person names. Michael Atherton and the villain Jerry Krantz.
Jerry Krantz and his son Vince Krantz.
Yeah. And who ends up being the main bad guy. Randy Travis's character is named Kyle Tappert. that famed Western villain, you know, Kyle.
Kyle, the man with the black hat, you know.
Get out of town, everybody! Here comes Kyle.
Oh shit! It's Kyle. Get your guns ready.
Oh no, we'll never take down Kyle. This opening scene, Michael Atherton rolls up and just shoots all these guys for whipping this woman.
Mm-hmm. And this woman, I don't.
Wendy
really
is the character's name.
I called her Western Kudrow. She kind of had a Lisa Kudrow vibe to her.
I see that. Yeah, Wendy is the character's name. Valerie Wildman is the actress.
Mm-hmm.
Who looks like a Days of Our Lives actress primarily. Seems to be her biggest credit, and some 90210s back in the day. But you know, she works, but not anything that anybody would consider like major stuff.
Right.
But yeah, she's just. I mean, look, this character is doing nothing to advance the portrayal of women on film by any stretch of the imagination.
Nope. Yeah.
She is a wounded prostitute who spends the entire movie worrying about the main character.
Just fawning over him despite no information about, like, knowing nothing about him.
My favorite scene, and I wrote this line down, is skipping to the end of the movie when he goes out and he's leaving to go fight the bad guys. She's like, no, there's many more of them. And he's like, I gotta go out there. And she says, I don't know if it'll matter much, but I love you. And he says nothing and just walks out and gets on his horse.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just like, and also I was
fair.
like, when and how and where did they fall in love?
Well, the thing about this movie, John, is that there somewhere in the film after Atherton gets beat up by the villains. We're jumping all over the place, but it's fine. There's not really a plot. There is.
I mean, the plot is just mysterious stranger comes into town, kills the gang that's running the town.
Right. It's just, but like what actually happens in the film is just a random series of events.
It really is. It's pretty episodic.
Yeah. But like after he gets beat up and his hands are like smashed or whatever,
which is exactly what they do to Django in Django. They break his hand so he can't shoot his gun. And then what does Django do? He figures out if he removes the trigger guard from his guns, he can still shoot his guns with his broken hands, which is what this fucking guy does too. One thing to smash his hands, but as soon as he starts removing that trigger guard, I'm going, are you fucking kidding me? We are just doing Sergio Corbucci's Django.
Yeah. It's funny. They didn't explain what he was doing either. So like for people who don't have that context, of seeing that original film,
right?
He just like removes something from his gun, and then suddenly he can shoot again.
The thing that they do here, they just haven't been able to shoot. In Django, it's the idea that his hand is broken, so he just has it basically in a claw. So he just has to work the hammer with one hand and pull the gun. That's why the trigger guard. That makes more sense if you have broken hands. Here, for some reason, he's still able to use his finger.
Still use his fingers.
So I don't know what
his hands are.
Yeah, they're much more bashed up in Django.
Yeah, they're not broken. They just have they're just like flesh wounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I don't understand if he can still put his finger around the trigger. What was the trigger guard infringing upon?
Clearly they didn't understand why it worked in the original film.
Yeah,
but they put it in there because it was in.
Because I remember seeing that original film like in high school, and when he's still shooting his gun with broken hands, I was like, "This guy's the biggest badass cinema's ever seen!" Like, That, by the way, just go watch the original Django. That movie rules. Yeah. It's still. Yeah. I watched it again recently, and it still plays so well. It's a badass western. Here, this isn't anything. But so anyway, the big heroic thing he does at the beginning that we would call from the Blake Snyder book saving the cat as he saves this woman. They go into town, and of course, town is absolutely troubled. But as soon as he says his name in the bar, As soon as he says his name in the bar, like everybody's like, Michael Atherton. Michael Atherton? He's the Michael Atherton? And we'll come to find out that Michael Atherton is a war hero for having killed a bunch of Confederate soldiers, right? Isn't that the thing in the war? He killed escaping Confederate prisoners.
Yes.
Which I don't really understand how that makes you a war hero.
It's not really a heroic act, I would say.
No, because and also, don't you think of a war hero as like doing something in the middle of combat or saving his fellow soldiers or blowing up the base of the enemy or something? Instead, this guy just shot a bunch of fleeing prisoners.
He's really good at shooting people in the back as they're running away from him.
Because they just keep talking about it. And throughout the rest of the movie, the villains are always calling him that war hero, the war hero.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about the establishment of the villain in this movie. Well, here's the thing. This movie's a little too complicated for how generic it is.
It should be straightforward. It should be simple.
Instead, there's like two villains and then a reversal of villains. And but I want to talk about the introduction of Jerry Krantz.
Oh, Jerry Krantz. What a performance. What a tour de force.
Played by William Smith. So Will Smith plays this part.
Will Smith is in this movie, guys.
An actor, by the way, an actor who's been in a million movies and continues to act to this day.
Probably a lot of movies like this.
A lot of movies like this, but also a number of legitimate films as well. I mean, a lot of action kind of stuff. Red Dawn and Any Which Way You Can with Clint Eastwood.
Does he always have this voice?
You know, that I don't.
On a voice?
This strikes me as an older gentleman's voice, you know.
Yeah.
But as they say here, a prolific number of roles in westerns, horror, sci-fi, and action pictures. So he definitely is like a genre guy.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting question, or here's an interesting factoid about William Smith. Bruce Lee personally offered Smith the co-lead in Enter the Dragon, but another film went over schedule, and John Saxon stepped into the role. Now that's interesting.
That is interesting.
So anyway, but I love when we go to his ranch or whatever, wherever his hideout is, you know, there's just some guys bare knuckle boxing inside of like a horse pen.
And this is very indicative. Yeah, I was very surprised to find that there was a stunt coordinator in the credits of this movie. Yeah, because the way that the fight scenes, this fist fight was a little bit easier to follow just because there's only two combatants. But like the way that this movie works is that they make a cut and then they do a thing and then they cut and then they do another thing. So it's all entirely on the editor to make this a seamless, cohesive fight scene.
Yeah.
There's no. I'm shocked there was a stunt coordinator because this level of coordination for a film is something that like anybody could put together based on what I'm seeing here.
Right. Yeah. It is in the way that the whole movie is generic. These fist fights are very much just like big windmill punches, you know.
Yeah.
Guy getting hit and knocked aside, and, you know, it just feels.
I mean, obviously, it's not going to be like a kung fu fight scene or whatever. But
but there's no like grit or intensity. It doesn't feel like people actually scrapping and fighting. It's not clumsy and violent in that way that like the Bourne Identity. I mean, that's obviously going to extent, but that's what I think of as like, oh, that's watching two guys try to kill each other in a fight.
Yeah,
it's sloppy. Yeah. It's not well choreographed in that sense. It's kind of an ugly looking fight. Here, it's just it's so like old movie Hollywood Western.
Yeah.
Big swing back and kapow, you know.
Again, like if this movie was more of an homage, you know what I mean, like a love letter to those types of films, then I think that would work a little bit better. But I get the impression. I don't know. It's hard to. You can't know the intention of the filmmakers, but like. It doesn't feel like a homage. It just feels like they're stealing stuff.
Yeah, because the movie also feels like it's trying to be very modern at the same time.
Yeah,
But also just doing things like so this is where they bring Krantz's son back to him on the back of a horse. And he's like, number one, we got to talk about Jerry Krantz's voice because he talks like this the whole movie.
He sounds like he has a stoma, but he doesn't.
I love all the scenes where he's yelling, "Come on out!" I'm like, his voice is not carrying. Yeah.
He's like, you all hear me? No, we don't. We don't hear you. You're whispering.
Come on out of that bar, like that, and you're just like, what? You would just hear like, that's all you'd hear inside the, you know.
This is this is another example of why I'm glad I watch these movies with subtitles on, because so often there are people who just cannot enunciate for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And are complete. Like there are some lines that are completely inaudible. Like what is funny is that one of his first lines in this scene, it literally in the middle of the sentence said inaudible. Like in
even the guy
parentheses.
writing the subtitles, like, I didn't fucking get that.
Yeah,
I
which I thought was hilarious.
don't know, man. I didn't pick that up.
Yeah. This man's voice is certainly something.
Didn't you expect to just like break down as we were like,
Honestly, like even like trying to emulate it hurts my throat. I don't know how
it does. Yeah.
Like,
Same
I don't
here.
know how he does it this whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. And then my favorite thing, and I wrote this in the guy's like, oh yeah, well they were whipping that girl, and this man came out of the desert and shot everybody, and then Jerry Krantz just shoots the guy who told him that, and I wrote down, he literally shot the messenger. He's just like, he told me my son was killed. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, it's quite the power move, you know.
It really is. It establishes Jerry Krantz is not to be fucked with.
Pretty bad guy. Although this messenger should have known that this is going to happen if he works for this guy. He should have just left town, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because later the mayor of this town will describe, I wrote this down, Jerry Krantz is the dirtiest no good son of a bitch to ever infest this town. So that's trouble.
Yeah, and this movie is constantly trying to show that the world is like shades of gray, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it has such aspirations of complexity that it doesn't have or doesn't need. It's so strange.
Yeah, like I think that's something I was thinking about, and I think we've mentioned it a little bit here. But yeah, this movie actually needed to just be more straight ahead. Just lean into, you're doing nothing new. Don't try to make something. Don't try to do reversals. Don't try to be morally ambiguous with anything. Yeah. Like it's you got to know what kind of movie you're making here, and any attempt to make it more interesting is actually making it not good.
Less.
It's making it less interesting and confused and like, what? Who was the? Okay, like because we gotta talk about Atherton in the bar when everybody recognizes him. Well, that's trouble now, and it wouldn't be a Western without a scene in a bar where everybody's like, "What do you want, newcomer?" You know.
And the guy just drinking all of the liquor that's
exactly because Atherton orders whiskey in this bar, and this guy comes up to him and as he's talking to him, every time the bartender pours him a shot of whiskey, this guy drinks it. And that'll show. This will bring us to our first nominee of many. There's a few in this movie of best one-liner in the film. This guy keeps drinking his whiskey, and then finally Atherton takes his gun, puts it to this guy's balls, and pulls back the hammer and says, "You still thirsty?"
Don't make me Rostov you.
Yeah, Rostov balls off, man. But
yeah.
And then, of course, everybody in this bar starts shooting at each other, but he's got some backup, and Randy Travis, Kyle Tappert, who's over in the corner playing poker, and he shoots a couple of these guys too, and it's like, looks like you needed the help.
Yeah. I did find it funny that the man standing behind Atherton, when he had his pistol to the other man's crotch.
Yeah.
But he's holding up this rifle and not pointing it at Atherton, which I found a little strange.
Yeah.
He's like threatening him with the rifle. He just has it.
He's indicating that he has a rifle.
Right. It's very strange.
And he says, "I'll blow your head off."
It's a Mexican standoff, but one of the people participating in it is not actually aiming it at anything.
No, he's
so
just
they're
like,
at a disadvantage.
Any minute now, I could point this thing at you. I got the rifle, as you see.
The safety is on, just to let you know. Like, I
didn't say there were bullets in it, but, you know. I
Well, I can go get them.
yeah.
I can go get those bullets.
All I have
They're
to do,
upstairs.
yeah. All I have to do is run up the stairs, get the bullets in my room, put them in the gun, and then you are in trouble, Mister.
Actually, now that I think about it, I need to buy some bullets, but the supply store's just down the road, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get them.
Just give me like 10, 15 minutes, and then you're fucking dead, buddy.
Exactly.
Because this guy is also instantly dispatched when Atherton throws a knife and pins him to the wall, pins his arm to the wall, and so he loses the
Yes.
rifle instantly. So it ends up not mattering.
Yeah. And Atherton definitely escalates this when he didn't necessarily need to. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they do a good enough job having the villains instigate this fight. You know what I mean? Like they are obviously instigating, but Atherton is pretty quick to start shooting people.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Uh,
And Randy Travis is pretty quick to join in, and they're just gunning
Yeah.
everybody in this bar has been gunned down.
Yeah.
And
Very strange.
the sheriff comes, and he's not mad at Atherton. In fact, he and the mayor are pretty happy that he killed Vince Krantz, and they give him his $10,000 bounty, which is a crazy amount of money back then.
I looked it up. So at that time, let's assume it's post Civil War because they mentioned the war.
1870s ish. Yeah.
So with inflation, $10,000 today is over $200,000.
So, and they just kind of toss it off like, "Here's your $10,000." And he's like, "Okay."
It's a small backwater town in like Arizona, I think they mentioned Tucson. You know, like.
Yeah.
And they're just like throwing out like $250,000 equivalently
In today's
you know,
money, yeah.
which is crazy. And then they offer another $10,000 for Jerry.
Well, because what I love is they bring him in, they give him the bounty, and they go, "Hey, you seem really good at killing people. Look, we've completely lost control of this town to this guy and his gang. It's the mayor,
No
mayor and the
authority.
sheriff, and they're just like, look, we've failed in any way to enforce the law. This guy rules this town. But do you think because you seem awfully better at this than us, maybe you could like kill him and his gang, and then we'll give you another $10,000? And you know, like, do you want to do our jobs for us? Does that sound good to you?
And that is kind of like one of the tropes where like the law enforcement, because it's such a small town,
Yeah.
they're just ill-equipped to deal with, you know, these kinds of, you know, problems.
I mean, there's a number. I mean, you think about Clint Eastwood movie like High Plains Drifter, where it's kind of like, oh, our town's overrun by bad people, and we have to turn to this mysterious gunfighter to save the town.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not usually this stated of like, oh, we fucking absolutely done
We
nothing.
don't know what we're doing. I mean, hell, nobody even owns ammo, so like, how are we supposed to fight off against these? You know.
And then he's like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And he goes and immediately gives the $10,000, all of it, to Wendy, the whipped prostitute, who gets really pissed when he gives it to her.
It's very strange. Yeah.
She says, "Nobody buys me. I'm not for sale to anybody." He goes, "Well, then burn the money for all. What do I care?" Like, I just love that Atherton is like, "I have no need for money these days." We know nothing about this guy. Like, I guess he's a drifter of sorts / gunfighter. Maybe.
No, we know his backstory because a lot of the early scenes are just exposition as
Yeah, well, because he meets that writer guy who talks about, "I've read all about you and your time as a war hero," and I guess he was a lawman at some point too.
Yeah.
Now here's the question I have: Who's Sarah?
I have no idea.
Because we'll find one of the big things later. Wendy finds a picture of a woman in Atherton's stuff, and on it says Sarah, and it says Sarah, and then died and a date. I just love the idea that Atherton went, "Here's my great love. Let me write down she died on this." You know.
I always forget if it was on the 5th or the 6th.
I gotta celebrate her death day this year. I can't forget.
Yeah.
And then later when she after he's been crucified,
Yeah.
when she's pulling him down, he's sort of in and out of consciousness, and he's seen her face become Sarah's face, become her face. And then later she says, "I know about Sarah," and that stops him in his tracks. He goes, "You don't know nothing," whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just assuming it's his wife, but
Yeah.
the movie we don't know who she. We never get a definitive answer to who she is, and we never know what happened to her.
Nope.
She died.
does-
Was she murdered? Did she die? Was it the war? Was it illness? Was it what?
It's just one of those. It's one of those gifts that screenwriters give to actors, where it's like the actor knows what it is, and it's part of their internal monologue, but the audience just sees it through the performance of the actor.
Because when you have somebody with the chops of a Dudikoff, able to stand there like a stone, expressing nothing.
I also thought his reaction to her admitting that she went through his stuff when he was like while he was being crucified,
Yeah.
was pretty understated. I'd be pretty pissed off, honestly.
Let me ask you this though, listener: is there any part of Dudikoff's performance that isn't understated, which is a generous word?
Fair
This
point.
guy doesn't. This guy doesn't rise to a lot of emotional levels. He's
Nope.
pretty locked in at a certain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the line we're indicates the flat line of his performance.
He is certainly going for a grizzled Western hero. He's definitely going for like a Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
growl.
yeah. But Eastwood is a good actor, and there are levels within it, and there's emotion and life behind his eyes in those scenes.
It is hard to be that subtle. You know what I mean?
Really is.
It's really, really hard, and Clint Eastwood is really good at that.
Yeah,
it's one of his best qualities as an actor.
He can do a lot. I mean, that's why Leone can just put a camera right on his face, because he's actually doing a lot. It's subtly difficult, right? Because you look at it and go like, oh, he's not really doing anything, but he's actually doing a lot. And when you watch a movie like this, you realize how good Eastwood is, because you're like, oh, right, people just can't do that. It's not just about being still and quiet. It's still a calculated performance.
But it's also, man, we're jumping around all over the place. That's fine. But
that's what we do. Yeah.
Is the writer also a doctor?
Is who a doctor?
The writer. The writer.
Yeah, he does seem to be.
He was checking up on Wendy.
Yeah.
And her wounds. So he's a
I guess
doctor.
He's got
too?
some medical knowledge as well, because he is tending to her whiplashes.
Yeah. That was very, very strange. But the villains of this movie are so dumb. They are so dumb.
Because
I mean, we've already skipped over Vince. No, his name's not Vince. Jerry.
Yeah.
The
Jerry
the
Krantz.
cruel,
Jerry Krantz, leader of the Krantz gang.
the Krantz.
Jerry Krantz. Jerry Krantz.
Jerry Krantz.
He's doing. You got to get your form sim so you can do your taxes.
Yeah. They roll into town. They look like a bunch of dad band.
That's something we haven't talked about. Everyone in this movie is pretty old.
Is at least 55 years old. The only exception is Dudikoff.
Yeah, it really is. Everybody's middle aged. So when he's taking out this gang of guys later, I'm like, well, yeah, they're not going to outdraw him. They're 60.
They don't. There's a reason why whenever somebody gets on a horse in this film, there's 4 shots involved.
It's like Liam Neeson jumping over that fence in Taken 3, or it's like 20 cuts to get him over a fence.
Exactly.
It is like that. Because they come right into town, beer guts bouncing. He's got nobody intimidating in his gang.
No.
Well, I love that Vince, his son, is like the same age as his father.
There's no age difference.
My boy. my dad. Like it's all just
Son,
yeah.
I will give vengeance for thee. I loved his monologue to his dead son who is still hanging over the horse.
Yeah.
Like he didn't bother to move him.
No, no.
You know,
This is I just got to get this out right now before we do anything else.
it's very Shakespearean.
Oh, that's generous.
Oh, you think? But yeah, and then I keep wanting to say Vince, but Jerry starts shouting, quote unquote, to
you in there.
hey, you in there?
Yeah.
Come on out, Michael Atherton. And what proceeds is not one but two separate Western style standoffs in the same scene.
My favorite of this is we get the Leone inspired showdown because Atherton comes out and they're doing eyes, guns, cut, right?
Yeah.
And then the sheriff has a rifle behind this guy and he shoots a guy off his horse and it goes into slow motion. And I swear, for 10 minutes, we see this guy fall off his horse.
There's just no sense of pacing in this scene. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have the quick editing to build tension between them, and then just have a 30-second clip of somebody falling off of a horse in slow motion. That's not really how you. That's not really how you do a exciting action scene, if I'm not mistaken.
No. The proof is in the film, right? This is not exciting at all. So, this guy falls off a horse forever. And then this shootout with all these guys on horses and Atherton. Number one, I think Atherton shoots 40 rounds from his gun without reloading. But it's all just cuts to individual people. Once again, there's no wide shots, so you never get a sense of the geography of this town. There's a part where they shoot a guy off of a balcony. I mean, it's a classic Western thing, and he falls over. But I was like, where is that in relation to where anyone else is?
What building is that? Also, I love that the man clearly jumps off the balcony. He doesn't fall.
Well, there's your stunt coordinator.
Yeah, that's him right there. That's the one stunt.
Whoa! Yeah.
There's no, and again, this comes up so much with these films. You have no context for where anything is in these fight scenes. So there's no ground.
Once again, they don't shoot anything wide, so you never get a sense of this is that building, this is over here. The sheriff is shooting from behind them from the corner of a building, but what building is that? I don't know.
Yeah. There's no ground being won. There's no ground being lost. There's no sneaking around and shooting somebody in the back. There's no strategy. There's
it also feels like they're right on top of each other too.
They're all right on top of each other, and it's amazing how many shots go off and nobody gets hit. Eventually, obviously, people get shot, but for a good 5 minutes in this gunfight, people are just, I assume, are just standing out in the open and shooting at each other, and no one's getting shot.
If we were to cut to a wide, it would look ridiculous. Is the thing, right? That's the thing where it would look like that gravel gunfight from last week's movie. Bang, bang,
well,
bang, bang, bang,
I don't
bang.
know if it's quite. I don't know if it's quite on that level. That gunfight was pure excellence.
That's one of the best things we've seen in any of these movies.
I think so. Yeah.
I do like before the bad guys ride into town. I want to get this in as another nominee for best one-liner. When they hear Michael Atherton in his town, they're going to ride into town and kill him. Our villain Jerry Krantz says, "I'm going to throw a real party for that war hero." And then finally it comes down to one of the henchmen grabs Wendy. I'm going to just keep calling her Wendy, the whipped prostitute. And puts a gun to her head and is like, "Hey, we got the girl you like." And then Atherton puts his gun to somebody else's head.
Yeah, it was very strange.
And it's like, it's a whatever mutually assured destruction thing here, right?
Right, exactly.
We're at an impasse. And then eventually somebody just clocks Atherton over the head with a rifle.
Yes.
And it leads to another one-liner from Jerry Krantz, which is they take his gun and says, Dead men don't need a gun. Yeah.
It's
And then they take him back to Kranz's, where they start beating the shit out of him in the horse pen where we saw the bare knuckle boxing happening earlier.
yes. Yes.
They don't tie him up. He gets a chance. He gets some punches in, but they're kicking the crap out of him.
Yeah, yeah. Is this where it's revealed that I can't Kyle is actually a villain?
Yeah, it's in this scene because he's like, well,
what
better
a
you than me.
undramatic. Yeah, what an undramatic way to reveal that somebody is actually a villain.
He just walks
You know what I mean?
he just walks into this ranch.
Yeah,
And
he's
he's
just
like,
like,
"Hey,
oh yeah,
everybody."
I'm here.
And he says, wow, I thought you would have recognized me. You don't remember this face? And I'm going, okay, I don't know what the hell's going on here. And the whole thing with this is he may have been one of the prisoners when he gunned down those prisoners, but he got away. But the movie actually doesn't answer that. Because in the end narration, they go, we never did find out if Kyle Tappert was actually the other prisoner that survived. In fact, Kyle Tappert wasn't even his name. Oh, well.
I mean, at least it commented on that. You know what I mean? Like, not to say that was a smart thing to do, but like so many of these films just so haphazardly put like plot points in their movie and then just completely abandon it without any sort of like noting it, or referring back to it. So I guess at least they refer to the fact that was an unanswered thing about this film. I feel like they're constantly going for, there's a lot more there if you look just below the surface.
Well, and I think they want it to be that like Western myth legend sort of thing where it's like, we never did find out if that was the truth, but some folks say, But it's like the movie hasn't been that. And so when they just randomly throw it in at the end, you're like, wait, what?
What
is it? I'm just confused now. Because I was content with the answer that he was. Then they're like, maybe he wasn't. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought that just was the thing because he said it was.
And it's like you said, it's needlessly complicating things that don't need to be complicated.
It's a very straightforward movie, but they want to add complications to it because I guess they think that makes the movie seem more sophisticated.
Yes, I don't know.
See,
that's
their
twist on it.
Yeah. It's not a smart script.
No, it is not. But yeah, and then that's when they smash Atherton's hands.
They break his hands, and whatever. So then the Wendy, the whipped prostitute, decides she's booking it out of town because she's got that $10,000. Which
she did decide to take it.
The world is hers at this point.
So much money.
She's walking out of the saloon, and we haven't talked about Duncan, the saloon owner / pimp.
What a great guy.
Hoke Howell is the actor who plays Duncan.
Yes. Which, did he die in the filming of this?
He did.
Because okay, I had a feeling because at the end they said in memory of Hoke Howell.
They dedicate this movie to the memory of Hoke Howell.
Boy, that's not a good. This is not a good movie to dedicate to human being's death.
Yeah, this is the one he goes out on.
Oh boy.
I mean, this guy was in a lot of movies of this quality. I'll just say, looking through his career, and then also various guest star roles on TV shows. Long time working actor there. But yeah, he is he is the owner of the saloon and the pimp. And he's like, where do you think you're going? And she says, I'm leaving town. I'm quitting this place. He's like, oh, I don't think so. And so then she goes, it's like, I own you. She says, well, how much would it take for me to leave, to let me go? And then I wrote this down. Where is it? Okay. He goes, well, how much you got? And she reaches into the bag of cash, and here's our next nominee for one-liner. Pulls out a gun and points at him and says, I got this much. Unfortunately, it's all lead.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I wrote down that line as well.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah. And so so he's just like, all right, hey, whoa, cool, lady, just get out of here. And she leaves. Meanwhile, they're torturing Atherton and they brand him.
They brand him. Yeah.
They brand his chest.
What did the V stand for?
I don't know.
Because as we've established,
It's Krantz. Should be
His
a
name
K.
is Jerry Krantz.
So a K probably for Krantz, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why it's V. His son's name is Vince or Vance.
It's Vince.
Is it Vince?
It's Vince
Yeah.
Krantz.
Vince Krantz.
I like Vance
Good.
Krantz though. Vance Krantz would be a funnier name.
Yeah.
Vance Krantz here.
Well, so that confused me when I was watching because I was mishearing his last name, so I thought it was Vance, Jerry Vance. So the V was Vance, but then that made me realize that his son's name would be Vince Vance, and so that couldn't.
Shit! It's Vince Vance and the boys.
So yeah, I don't know what this V like.
I don't know. I think
I don't know
I honestly think it's the branding iron they had. Like the press department had this from something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but they brand him, which doesn't matter. It's just another torturing thing.
Yeah.
And so they brand him. And the next big plan is to get Randy Travis, Kyle Tappert, installed as sheriff of the town.
Right, because he's full on working for Jerry Krantz.
Right, and so now, not only have they killed the sheriff who was already doing nothing, they've essentially taken out the guy who was brought in to bring him down. He's now installed one of his cronies as the sheriff of the town.
Right.
So great. It seems like Krantz has won.
Yeah. It's the darkest hour, John. This is
yeah, the dark night of the soul, and this to just keep using save the cat sort of structure. They then this is where they crucify him. Yeah,
it's really weird because boy, the sequence of events is so strange. This is where the movie's concept of time seems to be very loose. So they crucify him. They say, "Oh, a storm's coming."
Yeah, by crucify him, of course, we mean they tie him to like a water tower, like the base water tower, in a vaguely. I mean, Michael Atherton is totally a Christ figure, obviously, in this film. And then they're like, "Yeah, there's a storm coming, and you're gonna die in it."
But the storm, there's no rain, which there obviously is no rain in this.
There's clearly like a wind machine and ever flashing lightning, just a nonstop barrage of lightning.
But absolutely no rain.
Not
in the
a
storm.
drop of rain. I noticed that too. I love that. They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we couldn't afford the rain machine."
I mean, to be fair, that would be pretty expensive. You know what I mean?
But so they're doing the whipping winds, and once again, it's just constantly flashing lightning and the sound of thunder.
I'm definitely, whenever I see that in a film, like I am thoroughly impressed by like a production that's able to create that,
because it requires a ton of water, because even sometimes when it's raining, that doesn't read on camera. You need a ridiculous amount, way more water than would actually fall from the sky to make it look like it's raining in a movie.
And you also need equipment that won't be utterly destroyed by rain falling.
You gotta cover everything in plastic, and it's a huge undertaking to do a rain sequence in a movie.
So I understand on a budgetary level why they didn't do it, but also the fact that it wasn't there is so glaring.
They should have just done the wind, really.
Yes.
The lightning is too much.
Yeah.
I know they want the drama of the flashes and the sound.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, he's out there dying in this storm.
So they don't kill him. No. They don't. They're just going to assume that he dies, and then they don't bother to check up on him at all.
Here's my favorite thing. Later in the movie, when he starts killing everybody, and they're like, "That's impossible. He died." One of the henchmen goes, "Yeah, we went out and looked, and his body was gone, and we just assumed the buzzards or the coyotes had gotten him." I'm like, and left nothing behind. They cut through his ropes,
clothing, no no bones. Like
Yeah.
what?
They chewed through his ropes, pulled him down, and drug him out into the woods.
Yeah. And then just like, oh my god, they're so
I laughed
stupid.
so hard when they said that. That's the most I laughed. Maybe at any of these movies when they go, we just assumed the buzzards and the coyotes got him.
You idiots. They're so
And
dumb.
also that nobody chides them. Everybody's just like, well, it sounds reasonable.
Of course, yeah. That's what I would assume too. But yeah, so he gets rescued by Wendy.
Yeah, she comes out there and with an axe cuts his ropes and pulls him down.
Is this the same day?
I think so.
So this is what I didn't understand, because she left town with this money.
Yeah.
Presumably, she went and bought this cabin.
Yeah.
This very nicely furnished cabin in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know what the real estate situation like the 1870s was looking like, but from what I gather, back then you kind of had to build your own house. It's not like you bought a house.
It's not just on property that you find. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Didn't you want the for sale sign with the sold on it? Like,
yeah, exactly. So she
hi,
presumably in the same
I'm
day.
Buckman too. I'm a frontier real estate agent. I'll find you and your family a hell of a home.
Yeah. So she purchases this this cabin.
Yeah.
And then furnishes it fully.
Yeah.
And then goes and rescues him that night because
maybe 12 hours. Like
maybe 12 hours.
Yeah, because it's unclear. I like how long does Krantz have him and tortured him?
Yeah,
it's so unclear. The time of the movie is very very unclear.
So yeah, she cuts him down and then brings. Oh, and this is where he sees Sarah. You know,
who's someone.
She is certainly someone.
Yeah.
And then brings him back to her cabin.
Yeah.
And again, it is so unclear how much time passes.
Yeah.
Like how long is he recovering?
Because we get like a whole montage of her making soup for him and him like not being fully conscious, and she's feeding him and nursing him back to health. Presumably she's fallen in love with him at this point.
Right. All of the character work required to have these characters fall in love is non-existent, of course, because it doesn't matter.
Who gives a shit? We don't care. We're just this whole movie. It's interesting because it clearly knows the tropes, and so it's just like this is how this goes in a movie.
Of course, she's gonna fall in love with him. That's what women do. They just fall in love with people.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Silly women! Come on.
Come on. Yeah.
But I do like the scene where she goes back into town to find out the scuttlebutt from her prostitute friend.
She goes back into town, not in any attempt trying to hide her identity.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
because almost immediately her prostitute friend is like, "Don't you know there's a bounty out for you?" She's like, "Oh shit," and is trying to get information, saying like, what's going on?" And this is where the prostitute's like, "Yeah, that Kyle Tappert, he's the sheriff now," and then this is when the mayor walks out and he's like, "Hey, whatever her name is, I think this is Gina. Gina,
yeah, so
we gonna have the usual time tonight." By the way, Gina is played by Libby George, and her IMDb photo is her playing a stripper in something.
Yep.
In Masseuse 2, which I can only imagine is the same year. Masseuse 2. Oh, also directed by Fred Olen Ray, director of this movie.
That tracks. That
I didn't
really
look
tracks.
him up. I gotta look up what his films are. Oh, this guy's IMDb picture is amazing. It's him in a tuxedo with a cigar, and he has a mullet.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's clearly like a headshot from the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Oh shit. This guy's career. This guy has directed I can't even tell you how many movies this guy's directed. Maybe I can. Let me see here. Director of 159 films.
Holy shit.
And they're all beyond low budget, and the vast majority of them are softcore pornography.
Yeah, that tracks. Based on the weird scene that happens,
Yeah.
which we've already sort of referred to.
Which is coming up. That seems like a scene out of one of these movies, and oh my god, I mean, Bikini A Go-Go, Bikini Chain Gang, the Bikini Escort Company, Ghost in a Teeny Bikini, Bikini Girls from the Lost Planet, Bikini Pirates, Super Ninja Doll, The Girl from Bikini, which is an acronym for a spy organization, Bikini Royale. Tarzina, Jiggle in the Jungle, Bikini Royale 2, Bikini Frankenstein, Bikini Jones and the Temple of Eros, Bikini Time Machine, Bikini Warriors. There's so many bikini movies this guy's made. And then I see here in 2016, he worked with our boy Seagal in Sniper Special Ops. He directed that. He wrote and directed Sniper Special Ops starring Steven Seagal.
John, I am so unsurprised by the fact that this man with this film career has worked with Steven Seagal. Like, I could not think of a sleazier person than this man.
This guy's career is amazing because he still is directing to this day. He directed 2 movies last year.
Okay.
All he directs now are like Hallmark Christmas movies. He's directed like 8 or 9 of those since 2018.
Is one of them Bikini in Bethlehem, or
A Wedding for Christmas, A Christmas in Royal Fashion, One Fine Christmas, Baking Christmas, A Christmas Princess, A Royal Christmas Engagement.
Wait, he did A Christmas Princess?
Yeah, you've seen this movie?
I have seen this movie, John. It was all the rage. It's a bit of a meme.
He wrote and directed it.
That's so not surprising.
Christmas Princess.
I have watched a fair number of terrible Christmas movies. It is another sort of avenue of terrible films that I enjoy watching.
I've seen a handful. You know, I've not seen that one though. But yes, so this is not your first Fred Olen Ray film then.
Apparently not. Wow, I am.
I just it's like softcore porn, straight to video action. Cable channel Christmas movies. That's the trajectory of this guy's career. What a fascinating 150. I mean, give him this. He's prolific. He just keeps going.
Yeah, got to respect that. You know, he is definitely prolific. He is truly the L. Ron Hubbard of B action movies.
I think that's fair. Well, I can't wait for the religion that crops up around him. So yeah, then we get this really late 90s. I mean, it looks like a Showtime After Dark series or something like that. Because it's all, when I think of those, I think of The Dissolves, which is what this is. It's like a sex scene montage with a bunch of dissolves.
It somehow surpasses The Room in weird, uncomfortable sex scenes. You know what I mean? I didn't think that would be possible, but
I think a lot of it has to do with the context of this movie. You don't like when he says like, "Oh, the usual date with the prostitute." I thought that was the end of it. I didn't think the next scene was going to be him having sex with said prostitute.
Yeah, why did this scene happen? I mean, obviously, I know why the scene happened.
But why
because they wanted to put sex in it. But like, why?
Yeah,
like why? How they didn't bother to justify it at all? So this scene ends with the mayor like basically killing this prostitute.
Yeah, he's got a leather strap. And he's like, I thought we could, mix things up tonight or whatever.
Yeah. And then he eventually kills her, and Kyle shows up. Sheriff Kyle.
Sheriff Kyle here. And by the way, the condition of her body, with conceivably if he had used that leather strap to kill her, she is coated in blood. It looks like he slashed her apart.
Yeah, exactly.
There's blood everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know what happened. I don't know.
It was so weird. It was so strange. Like I couldn't understand why that was a choice that was made. You know what I mean? Like
it doesn't affect the plot of the film at all.
no.
All of a sudden,
and
it's the beginning of a Ray Donovan episode where they're like, "I really screwed up, and I need you to help me."
Yeah, it's like, again, they're going for like this weird moral gray. Like everybody who is shown in this town are kind of all assholes. Like everybody is kind of an asshole
Yes.
in the town.
Aside from the one noble deputy we'll meet later.
Right. Yes.
Who actually does his job as a law enforcement. And I guess the sheriff was okay, but too old. But he died. He wanted to do something, but he was too old and didn't have the people to help him.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and also I should mention the sex scene had, as we mentioned before, the weird carousel music that
yes, it did, and everything about the sex scene.
About it was so strange.
Yeah, I was like, it just skeeved me out the whole time.
And this scene does not like come up again. Like there's no repercussions.
The next time we see the mayor, he is murdered. He is just shot dead, and it has nothing to do with this.
Yes. So there was literally no reason.
Because it seems like what this is now Sheriff Kyle, which we're going to keep calling him because that's amazing. Yeah. Sheriff Kyle has blackmail material. Yeah, exactly. It's like, now you're going to let me do what I want because it'd be a shame if people found out about that dead prostitute. I do love Randy Travis' whole thing about, like, she's nothing. She's a worthless human being. You understand? Nobody's going to care that she's dead. Randy Travis. Oh, this character really spoke to me.
Yeah. I mean, those lines were improvised. No, I didn't.
She's garbage. She's less than garbage. Is that good?
That's just how Randy Travis feels, you know. No, I don't know.
I do love that Randy Travis, once again, when you talk about the lack of menace, he never deviates from just being Randy Travis.
Yeah, he's just being sort of folksy and
genial Southern man, just kind of going. Yeah. Like he still is just country western star Randy Travis, even though he's this awful villain in this movie.
Now she's nothing. She's nothing. She's garbage.
Yeah.
You know.
You hear me? I'll just dispose of that body, and nobody will care that she's gone.
What the fuck?
I do like Atherton having a brutal tossing and turning nightmare to scenes from earlier in the film.
Jesus, what? Why?
This happens twice in the movie. Twice in the film, he has violent flashbacks to events that happened in this movie. Not to the war, but to scenes we've already... No, it's a 91-minute movie.
We know what happened in this film. Yeah, this would be an excellent... This would be an excellent time to like go into maybe how this Sarah person died, or maybe sort of trauma from the war.
You know what? They don't have to explain any more than Sarah. Just give me one shot of him holding her when she's been shot or something like that. He's like, no, exactly. And that'd be like, boom, he had a wife or a girlfriend who got murdered.
Yeah.
I mean, make Randy Travis the guy who killed her.
Yeah,
that's something.
That is something. That like. Because the relationship is so weird and nebulous, like that would give it a little bit more.
Because it's all Randy Travis. It's all Randy Travis wants revenge on Atherton for.
And Atherton doesn't remember him.
Nope.
Like he has.
Nope. And once again, even the movie isn't sure if his revenge is valid.
Right. It's very much the scene from Endgame where Thanos is just like, "I have no idea who you are," kind of a thing.
Yeah.
You know? Very similar.
That was a badass scene, though. Yeah, that's a good movie. This could use
that movie makes sense.
yeah. This movie could use some Russo brother work on it. I want them to make a western. They'd make a kick-ass.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
So then we get our montage of Atherton learning to shoot again, like we were talking about, and it's all just a rip-off of. I mean, number one, a guy setting up cans to shoot them off a fence. Jesus Christ, I can't tell you how many westerns I've seen this. And then to just literally do the trigger guard thing from Django, but not as well.
Yeah.
And then, oh boy, here's the first of like 3 scenes where Wendy's like, I don't want you to go out and fight. Why can't you just let it go? You're gonna die. Like, okay.
Oh boy, yeah. This movie is not advancing the perception of women in cinema. I mean, it's 1997. I don't have good expectations for that, but like, boy, she has nothing to work with other than
she's either, like I said, she's either victimized or she's like, please, I love you, don't die.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to do a little scene from the movie here with you. I'm gonna play Atherton. You're gonna play Wendy. There's just a short back and forth here. So I have a line, then you have a line, then I have a line, and your line as Wendy is, "What is it about?" Okay, because Wendy, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Because Wendy, the scene starts with Wendy says, "So you're just gonna go out there and die for something that's right?" And so that's the setup. That's that. Well, okay, you start with that line, say that, and we'll do the same.
So you're just gonna go out there and die for something that's right?
It ain't about right. It ain't about wrong.
What is it about?
I don't know. That is absolutely dialogue from the movie. I don't know. And then he turns and leaves.
That's the screenwriter admitting that they have no idea why anything happens in this film.
Even I thought the same thing when he said, I don't know if it ain't about right, it ain't about wrong, and even I thought, well then what is it about? Like, I don't know.
I have no idea. I'm just gonna do it.
And I just love the idea about, like, so literally that is the main character of the movie saying, I don't understand my own motivation. I
laughed so hard at that.
I backed it up and watched it like 4 more times because I just like, I don't know. I don't know why the climax of this film is happening.
Oh my god, it was so honest.
I think that once again they want it to be that once again what I think is one of the greatest westerns ever made, Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven. Mm-hmm. At the end of the movie, spoilers for a movie from 1992, when after he's shot Gene Hackman and he's on the ground and he's pointing the shotgun at him, and and Gene Hackman says, "I don't deserve this," and Eastwood says, "Deserve's got nothing to do with it." I think that's the kind of badass ambiguity that they want here.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it ain't about right, it ain't about wrong, you know? It's just, but
saying, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
don't know. But also, Unforgiven is a movie about the ambiguity of violence and the pointlessness of it. It's a movie actually wrestling with something. This movie is like, this movie wants us to be like, I don't know about violence, and then also be like, fuck yeah, he shot all those guys. You know?
Yeah. Because in Unforgiven, you're not like, yeah, get him. I mean, you kind of are, but it's more like, ooh, boy, it's such a kind of like sick to your stomach feeling.
It is. It's actually wrestling with, what are we rooting for here? Are we supporting violence? You know, violence is ugly, whether it's quote unquote justified or not.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing, because like Gene Hackman is a monster in that movie who you have no problem with Clint Eastwood killing, but it is kind of like, you know, what that does to the soul, and that's such a fascinating thing. Always just go watch Unforgiven. It's really a masterpiece.
It's a great film.
And so this is where then we get this is where this movie starts to get unnecessary comedy, because all of a sudden there's tension between Krantz and Sheriff Kyle.
Yeah,
because Sheriff Kyle now is like, what do I even need you for? I'm the sheriff, so, you know, I don't take your orders, Krantz. Like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, because what's going to end up happening is they're going to kill off Krantz, and you're like, wait, there's still like 25 minutes left. Oh, because Sheriff Kyle is the real true villain of the film, I guess.
Yeah, but again, it wasn't a twist, because they revealed very early on that he's a villain.
Right.
So why did this happen?
This scene would have been the better place to reveal it.
Yes,
like
100%.
He's already sheriff.
Yeah,
and he's talking to Krantz, and it's like, oh wait, he was working for Krantz, but now he's turning on him.
Yeah, there's no dramatic tension at all. The screenwriter clearly does not know how to create dramatic tension.
No.
Which is funny because westerns are like so much of them are tension. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
westerns are movies that don't frequently have some do, but they don't tend to have extended action sequences. It's more about the tension and build up to the quick draw, to the duel, to the whatever.
Yeah.
It's a lot of westerns tend to be slow burn kind of movies. And the best ones really know how to make that work. That's why somebody like Tarantino is so good at them, because he's a master of that across the board in his films. And then Atherton rides into the barn and just shoots all the henchmen.
Shoots all the henchmen.
Except for one guy, because then that guy can be like, I don't know what I saw, but it couldn't have been Atherton. We know he's dead, because remember, his body wasn't there.
His body, there's no evidence, like nothing left of him, no bones, no clothes, no anything, so he must be dead. So dumb.
And then he just goes and faces off with Krantz.
Yeah.
And shoots him. And I like here's our another one of our other nominees for one-liner, which is Krantz is on the ground having been shot, and he says, "Don't kill me." And Atherton says, "I'm not gonna kill you," and shoots him, and then says, "You killed yourself."
It was so that this was. I was very confused by this because he did kill him, but he kind of like shot the gun out of his hand, so it looked like he left him alive.
Yes,
but then in the next scene, they're like, "No, he's dead." So it was very confusing.
Yeah, because he shoots him a couple times, just wounding him, and then he goes to shoot him. Oh, but yeah, because what happens is he says, "I'm not going to kill you," and then he actually turns to walk away, and Krantz pulls out another gun and he shoots him, but it looks like he just shot that gun out of his hand, but then he does die, and that's when he says, "You killed yourself."
Okay. I think I can understand what he's saying.
He was going to leave him alive, but
but
when Krantz pulled that second gun to shoot him in the back, that is why he killed him. So he killed himself, I guess.
Now I understand. Okay,
it's not great.
If you peel back the layer, it's not great, but it does make sense.
You got to talk this movie through. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, it gets so much better with a second viewing. This movie is deep.
You got to watch The Shooter twice at least. Because it's just there's so much going on. There's levels to this thing. There's a lot of depth.
Back to back.
And so then they're talking about it couldn't have been Atherton. And I do like the guy says, "Well, it was either him or his ghost." To which I'm like, man, I would have liked this movie so much more if Atherton was a ghost.
That would be awesome.
That would have been a twist, right? That would have been something.
That would,
we haven't seen that great. Before.
Yeah.
Yes. And they talk, and then once again we get the next scene where he's going out to face I don't even know what he's
Kyle.
doing. I guess he's going out to face Sheriff Kyle, and she's like, this is her whole thing about, I suppose it wouldn't matter much, but I love you. And he's like, whatever.
Super romantic. Yeah.
Yeah. And so meanwhile, Randy Travis, Sheriff Kyle has talked about, do we know where he must be staying with that prostitute woman? Do we know where she's living? And the guy goes, yeah, we do. How? Where did they get that information?
That is not clear, John.
It's literally when they said that, because he goes, do we know where she's staying? And the guy just goes, we sure do. I'm just like, what? Did we cut a scene? They just know where she is.
Yeah, they just know where she is.
Yeah.
They know that she was the one that cut him down. There's so many leaps of logic here.
They just sort of assume he must be with that woman.
Yeah.
And also, we just happen to know where she lives. So he must be there and we can go get him. But first, he's got to justify this decision to go get him. So Sheriff Kyle goes to the mayor's house, and he has Atherton's gun. And
right.
He shoots the mayor, and then kills the mayor's wife as well.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God, Atherton has killed our beloved mayor and his beautiful wife.
in a very rousing speech that he gives to 5 dudes later that night. It's so strange.
Oh, our final nominee for one-liner is after he shoots the mayor and his wife.
Yeah.
He turns to Duncan, who's with him, who's his fake witness to this, right? And this man witnessed it. And Duncan's like, I sure did. Randy Travis turns to him and says, somebody ought to fetch the sheriff. Man's been killed. So then we get something, because I thought, like, what does it matter if he shot him with his gun? It's 1870.
Yeah, there's no forensics.
Oh, but there is, because we have the guy, the coffin maker or whatever, I guess the undertaker of the town.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about it's a very unique gun, because they have established that before. He fires a Schofield 45, which actually isn't that unique a gun. I've seen enough westerns. In fact, once again, in Unforgiven, the young gunslinger is called the Schofield Kid because he uses a Schofield. Don't fuck with the westerns, man. When you invoke the good ones, I'm gonna know what you're talking about. But then they talk about, like, we'll pull that bullet out of the mayor. What is it? Why, it's a Schofield 45. I don't know how this guy, from eyeballing it, instantly pulling it out of body, goes, oh yeah, that definitely came from that gun.
Yeah, that's some pretty good detective work.
And I love this crowd of, once again, the movie has no money, so it's like a crowd of 8 people, and they're all like, oh my god, oh no, and they're all gasping and like.
And this is still at night, right?
No, this is the next morning.
Oh, okay, this is the next morning.
But it is like he did do it. Oh no. Oh my. There's all kinds of like crowd sounds like that.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know what happened? He was working with Krantz the whole time, and Krantz ordered him to kill the mayor. And the crowd's like, that must be true.
It makes sense. There's no holes in that logic.
And then the deputies ride out to Wendy's house and just instantly capture Atherton.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't even put up a fight.
They lasso him, and I just love they know exactly where she is. He's there, and they grab him, and that's that. There's no fight. There's no action scene here.
He runs out just to be captured.
Yeah. And so then, oh man, this is really Sheriff Kyle's big evil scene when Atherton's in the prison cell, and he's like, oh man, they're going to hang you tomorrow. But even better than killing you is the fact that I destroyed your war hero reputation. That's right. Forever now, they'll write that you were a bad man.
Instead of being a hero when you shot those escaping prisoners in the back.
Well, and this is the scene where Sheriff Kyle's like, didn't you know you shot 14 men, but there were 15 men in that prison, and I was that 15th man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then at the end, they're like, maybe he wasn't.
Maybe he's just a guy who just wanted to feel important. You know, I can empathize.
And then he says something completely insane where he says, even if it costs me all that money and I have to go to the ends of the earth, I will find that whore of yours and kill her. I'm like, you know exactly where she is.
You were just there. You just took him from her house.
She was there because she was like, no, don't take him. Why didn't they just take her too then?
I don't.
They already established that there was a bounty out for her.
Yeah. I think the idea is that this movie was shot out of order, and so they just didn't have any context for what happened in other scenes. I think
not only shot it, written out of order. I think they were writing this thing as they were shooting it, because
I think you are 100% correct on that.
They have a lot of this movie doesn't add up.
No, it's why time is so strange in this film, because they don't have a through line, and so things are just kind of put in their hodgepodge.
Yeah,
and it's ridiculous.
Because we then cut to outside of the thing, the sheriff's department, and we see one of Sheriff Kyle's deputies listening at the window, so he's heard him confess to being the villain. And he's like, oh, no, I'm working for the bad guy. And that'll
excellent line delivery. So good.
And that will set up, I guess, at the end where he shows up and he's like, don't worry about anything. So then it's the next morning, and Atherton wakes up, and the door to his cell is open.
Yep.
And there's a hat, a gun, and one bullet.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all to set up Sheriff Kyle has, because he did know where Wendy was, he's at her place. He's strung her up, so she's hanging by a noose from a tree, standing on like a chair or a stool.
Mm-hmm.
He's also captured the writer character so that he can record what's about to happen.
I was pretty confused as to why that character was there, yeah.
Because he wants the historical record of what's about to happen.
Right, yeah.
And so the whole thing is he kicks the chair out from under, so now she's being hung, and he uses his one bullet to shoot the noose.
Yeah.
And now he's like, ha, you've got no bullets left. And what does she do? She like elbows him, and he punches him out so that then he takes both their guns.
Right.
He empties all the bullets from Sheriff Kyle's gun and then puts one bullet back in his gun and one bullet in Atherton's gun so that they can have a duel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which they then pull their guns at roughly the same time and shoot each other.
Yes.
Except for Atherton's shot was a kill shot and Sheriff Kyle is dead.
Pretty run of the mill. Pretty standard.
And then that deputy rides up and he's like, oh man, I was riding out here because I know the truth and I was going to stop this. I guess I'm too late. Luckily it all worked out though, and don't worry about any charges or anything. I know the truth, so you're all good. And then, we close with this narration that talks about, like, well, everything was all right in the town, and we never did find out if Sheriff Kyle was really the extra guy from that prison escape. He may have been, but maybe not. I don't know.
Or care.
Yeah. It's neither here nor there. And then they just talk about, and what happened to Atherton? Oh, well, he just rode off, and they never saw him again. But I guess he was happy because he had that girl with him, who I guess he did love the whole time.
He didn't show it in his performance, but we're just led to assume.
We see them literally riding into the sunset.
Yes.
And that's the shooter.
That's the shooter. The Shootist. Actually, there is a movie called The Shootist.
The Shootist is a great, great Western. It's John Wayne's final film. It's actually... I don't know that he knew he was about to die, but it is a perfect, because he's playing a dying gunfighter. It's a movie about the end of the West. Really highly recommend The Shootist. Really good movie. It's kind of like John Wayne's Logan.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I definitely recommend. It's also on Amazon Prime, so go ahead and skip over this one and go right to The Shootist, everybody.
Don't watch this movie. There's no need to.
No. But there are people out there who are fans of this movie. And somehow it is true. But my endeavor to always find the strangest reviews I can find on IMDb. Let me see here if I can track this one down. Oh, okay, here it is. This must be it. Okay. So this one, the review is titled "One of the Best," and it's written by S. Denny R. And I don't often attribute voices to these reviews, but I am 100% certain I know what this guy sounds like. So here you go.
All right.
I feel this is one of the best movies I've seen. Now, I'm an older male and love most Westerns. I love movies based in part at least on facts, and if I'm not mistaken, this is such a movie. I also like revenge-type movies. This qualifies there as well, in my opinion. Some of my favorite parts of the movie were the opening scene with the whipping and the barn shooting scene. I felt the corral beating scene was a little overkill, but did not affect how I feel about the complete movie. I saw what I think is a continuation of this movie in a Gunsmoke episode. That's the one. That's the part that gets me. I also enjoyed that. I recommend taking the time to watch this movie. I will watch it again. I also felt the romance parts of this movie were well played. I thought it was so out of character for Randy Travis to play a villain type, but I always enjoy his acting. 10 stars.
All right. Yeah, that's a pretty good review.
Yeah. I'm
not.
The Gunsmoke comment is the absolute best.
Yeah.
He saw a continuation of this movie on Gunsmoke, a show that went off the air. Let's see, where was this here? In 19. Damn it, this is not what I'm looking for. It went off the air in 1975.
So you're saying, John,
22 years before this movie came out, there was somehow a continuation of this movie on an episode of Gunsmoke.
It's so mythical, you know?
And I just like these, like, I think I saw a continuation. Anyway, I like that too.
Don't worry about it.
He's an older male and a Western fan, so.
Those generally go hand in hand, but
yeah. I enjoyed that review immensely.
It was very good.
That's one of the best we've had. All right.
Didn't mention Moulin Rouge though, so
it didn't. Our best kill of the movie. You know, we didn't talk about one. There's a guy who gets shot into a water trough that I enjoyed. In slow motion, the guy goes back into like a horse trough.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I liked the man jumping off the balcony when he was shot. That was pretty good.
There is the only like cool shooting from Dudikoff is he does do a like no look shoot a guy behind him early in the movie.
Yeah.
I like that. That's very sort of classic gunslinger kind of thing.
Definitely. Yeah.
But there aren't a lot of creative kills in this movie.
Yeah, most of the deaths are pretty unremarkable, I would say.
Yeah. Pretty classic. They just get shot.
Yeah, you just kind of just get shot and fall over.
Yeah. Nobody really. I don't think anybody. Does anybody die any other way than just being shot?
Other than the prostitute.
Oh yeah, because she was beaten to death with a
leather strap.
Yeah, leather strap. Even though it looked like she'd been sliced apart.
Yeah.
Maybe they filmed those in the opposite order. Yeah. So they're like, we don't have a knife to kill her with. Oh, just use this strap.
Yeah.
But it was all an accident, and also has nothing to do with the
plot of the movie.
By the way, here's an interesting little factoid about this movie.
So
we
yes.
talked about
yes,
the music. 2 composers on this film.
2 whole composers wrote this?
Wrote this
wow.
score. This score doesn't sound like it's written by anybody.
No.
And instead it's written by 2 people.
Well done. Well done.
Who have both the one guy's, I'm looking at their credits, and it looks like neither one of them has done anything that I've heard of. Oh, they are a duo. All their work, they both have the same credits, and both of them have never done anything I've ever heard.
It does sound. I mean, it's strange that they work together because it sounds like 2 separate people wrote scores for 2 separate films and then put it together into one film.
Looks like they make most of their money doing music for sports coverage.
Okay.
So they do a lot of like CBS Sports desk and 2005 World Figures, because somebody has to write that like intro music and stuff like that.
It's true. Yeah.
Which is a lot easier than scoring an entire movie.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Boy, the music in this movie. I love music in Western films. It's one of my favorite parts of Western films.
Absolutely.
And the music in this movie is so baffling. It's so strange and ill-fitting.
Yeah.
No,
it doesn't have any of that sweep or heroic kind of score of a Western film.
No.
Well, we got to pick our favorite one-liner. We'll go back through the nominees here. Let me open up the book here to the nominees. Here they are. One more time, your nominees for one-liner of the film. The guy who keeps drinking his whiskey, and Atherton points his gun at his balls and says, "You still thirsty?" Upon hearing that Michael Atherton is in town and is the one who had killed his son, this is Krantz says, "I'm gonna throw a real party for that war hero." Having knocked out Atherton and taken his gun, once again Krantz says, "Dead men don't need a gun." The prostitute leaving the saloon and hear him asking, "How much money does she have?" And she says, "I got this much. Unfortunately, it's all lead," as she points a gun at him. And then after Atherton has killed Krantz, he says, "I'm not going to kill you. You killed yourself." And then our final nominee is Sheriff Kyle, after murdering the mayor and his wife, says, "Somebody ought to fetch the sheriff. Man's been killed." Those are your nominees for one-liner of the film.
I think there's only one choice, and I think we might be in agreement here.
Wendy's. It's Wendy. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I only got this much. Unfortunately, it's all lead.
Yeah, generally I vote for the ones that made me laugh the hardest, but none of these are necessarily funny enough to warrant that.
That one's pretty good.
And that's like I could see that being in a good Western film.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that is my vote.
I'm with you right there. That's the one that I was like, ooh, when that was said, I was like, oh hey,
yeah,
that's pretty good. And it's always interesting when it's not the main character that gets the best one.
It happens a lot, actually.
Yeah,
I've noticed in these films.
I know, it just seems like it would always be the one-liner of the
hero.
Yeah,
protagonist. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, as we always are want to do on the show, we're going to randomly generate the title of an action movie. This will be the next vehicle from Michael Dudikoff.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hit the random generation button here, and we're going to come up with the plot of this movie. So here we go. I'm hitting it now. Randomize. Master of Retribution is the title.
Master of Retribution.
That's right.
Interesting.
The Master.
Wow.
Michael Dudikoff is Master of Retribution.
Interesting. That's a good title.
It is. Now, to me, the first thing that this implies is this is a guy who is doing a lot of retribution. This is not going to be a singular. Sure. This is not going to be the beginning. This is not a guy wrong. This is a guy who specializes in retribution. Maybe he is a vigilante for hire, meaning people pay him to get revenge that they have some sort of personal vendetta for.
Yes, some sort of revengeneer, if you will.
Like a Punisher for hire.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Dudikoff is the Master of Retribution.
Yeah, and that's his. He's earned that title through a decade of brutal kills and efficiency. And he always has a calling card.
He needs the card that says Master of Retribution. It's like the Equalizer, right? Where it's like odds against you. Can't get help or whatever. Call the Equalizer. Call the Master of Retribution.
Or like the Pardoner.
Just like the Pardoner.
So yeah, Dudikoff is, and let's say this movie was filmed now.
Yeah.
So Dudikoff is up there in age. Yeah. So
he's been at this a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it's time for a protege.
Exactly. And so this is a film about him training his replacement. So it's very Batman-esque, Batman-Robin relationship.
Yes.
Dudikoff is training the next Master of Retribution.
Yes.
Who should play this young protege, this up-and-coming upstart?
I'm thinking it's 2020. It's a more progressive time. It's a female.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm picturing somebody that would realistically be in one of these movies. She's embattled, but I believe she could still get in one of these films. Maybe a Gina Carano.
Let's do it. Yeah, Gina Carano.
Yeah.
Perfect.
She's going to bring her MMA skills to professional retribution.
Yeah.
And it's the two of them, and he's training her in the ropes. So it's a very episodic film in that sense, right? Because we'll see multiple retributions carried out. And it's got to start with him only barely getting one done and being like, I'm getting too old for this.
Exactly. Yeah.
And maybe she's somebody who is just this kind of is a Punisher story, but she's had a personal loss recently. And
is this just Is this just the plot of Leon the Professional? Are we?
We're just aging the roles up a bit, but yeah,
Yeah.
It's kind of as all these movies are ripoffs of things. Yeah, it's
Exactly.
a little bit Leon the Professional or the Greg Rucka run of Punisher, where there's a female Punisher.
Perfect. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, that's Master of Retribution. Michael Dudikoff is Master of Retribution. That's coming soon to a Redbox near you.
Can't wait.
Well, that actually flows very well into what next week's movie is, Lisman, because we are watching a vigilante movie. We are watching the greatest of all vigilante franchises, Death Wish. That's right, it's Bronson time. But the first Death Wish is a legitimate A-picture studio movie. So we decided, what's the best thing to do? We're going to skip all the way to the end and watch the final Death Wish movie, which is entitled Death Wish 5, The Face of Death. 1994's Death Wish 5, The Face of Death. Starring a 74-year-old Charles Bronson.
Boy, I am excited to see him do any stunts.
This, I will say, is a slight change of pace because this is a movie I have seen a couple times, and so am coming in knowing a bit. But I can get that, so I can guarantee you we're gonna have a lot to talk about on this one.
Great, yeah.
As always, though, Lisman, would you like to hear the tagline for Death Wish 5: The Face of Death?
Yes.
Here it is: no judge, no jury, no appeals, no deals. Death Wish 5: The Face of Death. That's right.
Oh man, can't wait.
Yep.
Can't wait.
Very great. Very excited to see this. I will say this is a movie near and dear to my heart. Not for the same reasons that the original Death Wish is what I'll say.
Right. Yeah.
I know what we're walking into, so but I'm very excited to talk about this movie with you next week on the show. So that'll be next week on the Action Shelf, but that's going to do it for this week's episode. I'm John Campbell.
And I'm Michael Listman.
Until next week, get yourself some action.
Ooh.
The Action Shelf.
The Action Shelf is part of the Panel Up Podcast Network. Remember to follow us on social media. We're at Action Shelf Pod on Instagram and Twitter. And you can email us at actionshelfpod@gmail.com. Of course, you can also support the entire network by heading over to patreon.com/panelup to get cool, exclusive bonus content.
The Action Shelf.